everybody. I'm Dan Lutz, and welcome to the Frontlines in the battle against the Deep State, the Cabal, the Illuminonkeys, and all those that wish to enslave all of humanity for their own selfish reasons. And they do have some very, very selfish reasons. I got a little delayed because there was a very interesting post that was put into the Telegram chat group, wwg1wga.love. So it was on an interesting dealing with the pedivores and the rest of their harvesting processes. That's what I mean. Selfish. Massive list of individuals and the quality of the adreno substance that they're trying to collect. So we'll go over that. It plays into the Trump card that I named this one. It says a Trump card revealed, and I've been sort of covering it over the last. Yesterday I talked about it, but I've also talked about it other days, and so I just wanted to kind of do some research and bring about kind of the pattern that seems to be forming under the narrative. So I wanted to make sure that we really get a grasp that this is probably the way things will roll out. I just wanted to make sure that we have a way of representing this information to other people, right? So that we can expand this message, so that they can see what is rolling out. Okay, so just making sure that I'm online here. All right. So again, welcome to the Frontlines, and I'd like to thank everyone who's been helping, because this program is brought to you by you and your donations to help me keep going with this. I received a $100 Canadian dollar donation yesterday. Thank you very much. Every donation is important, no matter the size, small or large, and I'm happy for each and every one of you and what you're doing. I know small donations mean a lot as well, because the people don't have much to give, and they're doing what they can. So I appreciate that. There is also on the website wwg1wga.love membership for monthly and yearly that you can also join there and contribute on a monthly basis. $8.88, $8.88, or $99.99 a year, and several others are listed there as well. This also for free. There's a free membership as well, in case you just want to get the notices and emails, which we haven't really been using, but there's always a chance we'll get this started. I get back to working on websites, and I get absorbed into it, and then 3 days later I get something done. So and sometimes there's not enough time and get into other things. But anyway, I appreciate that. Also, the people that have sent me comments and Telegram about the Life Force update from yesterday. Yes, I appreciate all of your comments and the people contacting me about it. And its easiest way, I know emails are very much habitual for a lot of people. It used to be that way for me, not any longer. I do get to them more often. I'm trying to check them daily. Sometimes they do slip by. So if it takes 2 to 3 days to get back, that's the reason. Reaching me in Telegram, it's usually a few hours, if not immediately. I will be able to get to your message. And you can also call me there. So that makes it also easy. All right. So let me turn things over to here. So we've got so far 18 people are viewing. Hello, everybody. Hello, Christy. And Shift. 5.5 by 5, I think. Yes, 5 by 5. So we're going to go over some of the 17 NES individual postings that were made as well. It's all kind of tying together. And let me first get this one set up for you. Go to disappeared. There we go. Okay, so this I'm going to go over a couple of different little news reports, and so you can see what we're talking about here. This first one, which is not really lined up that well, is it? Let me get this. This is Sean Hannity, and Trump is on there from a little bit ago. Let's see, from August 20th, so a month. And I'm about 9 minutes in on this clip. So this is really Trump talking about bringing in people to the polling places. He's talking about law enforcement. And so it starts a lot of conversation, let's put it that way. Remember, Trump likes to troll the media. He gets them hooked and they run with it, right? And he's got a motive behind the way he handles these things. So let's just listen to this one.
Are you going to have poll watchers? Are you going to have an ability to monitor to avoid fraud and cross-check whether or not these are registered voters, whether or not there's been identification to know that it's a real vote from a real American?
We're going to have everything. We're going to have sheriffs, and we're going to have law enforcement, and we're going to have, hopefully, U.S. attorneys, and we're going to have everybody and attorney generals. But it's very hard. I mean, you have some of these states sending them out, like Nevada, where they don't even have to check the signatures, so anybody can sign it. New Jersey just sent it.
Okay, so that's one example, right? So when Trump lays this out here, it causes a lot of people to go off on it, right? So here's ABC News. Trump says he wants police at the polling sites. Experts say that's unlawful. Right? This is from August 22nd. Right? Now, I also want to point out that this video that they attached to this is Bannon being arrested. Why would they put this video? Bannon being arrested, because Bannon is associated with Trump. They try to say that there's something illegal going on, so they add an illegal video. It's just to create the narrative, right? So a day after Donald Trump told Sean Hannity he wanted law enforcement and police officers at the polling place, a chorus of experts, including multiple secretaries of state, told ABC News that the president can't ask them to go there. Oh, great, no problem. That's not a problem whatsoever, right? What Trump? Trump obviously is saying something illegal. Obviously, they showed this. Here's a little video. Again, this is more alternative media.
President Donald Trump says he is planning to send law enforcement officers and US attorneys to polling locations. Mr. Trump arguing against mail-in voting, alleging that it will make it easier to commit fraud in the November election. Appearing on Fox News, he claimed anybody can sign the postal vote ballots and the forms may only be sent to Democrat areas. The current president previously told supporters the only way he would lose the upcoming election was if it was rigged.
There we go. So again, it's causing the uproar, right? And Trump draws attention to things this way, right? So let's go to the next one here. So this is from The Hill. Trump says he will send law enforcement, U.S. attorneys to polls in November to prevent fraud. So Trump said Thursday his plan to send law enforcement and U.S. attorneys to the polls in November to prevent fraud. When asked by Fox News host Sean Hannity,
President Trump said Thursday that he plans to send law enforcement and U.S. attorneys to the polls in November to prevent voter fraud. When asked by Fox News host Sean Hannity late Thursday night if the president was going to have an...
I didn't really want to start that video up. We're going to go for a few more here. So, of course, who else gets into the act here? Rolling Stone, right? Nope, President Trump can't send troops or law enforcement to your polling place. Again, Sean Hannity told Sean Hannity. So this, again, he caused this on purpose. He wanted to bring all of them up to, start talking about this. There's justsecurity.org. Trump can't lawfully use armed forces to sway the election, understanding the legal boundaries. Right? So they're all in the act, right? And here's one more. A.G. Haley, intimidating voters illegal at polling places. Now, we're going to go through this one. All right, the Democrat. Now, again, she's against this, right? The Democrat said she felt the need to issue an advisory on Thursday following statements by President Donald Trump, raising the possibility of calling up law enforcement officials, including sheriffs and police officers, who monitor the potential cheating at the polling locations. Now, this is from September 16th, so this is now, and this is she's a Massachusetts Attorney General. So in Boston, okay, interfering or intimidating voters at polling location is illegal in Massachusetts, Attorney General Maureen Haley said. The Democrat said she felt the need to issue an advisory on Thursday following statements by President Donald Trump raising the possibility of calling up the law enforcement officials, including sheriffs and police chiefs, to monitor the potential cheating at polling locations. The law prohibits intimidating voters and interference with election officers by anyone, including law enforcement officers, private citizens, Haley said. She said the local officers stationed at polling places to assist local election officials are generally barred from entering the immediate voting area unless requested to assist the chief election official at the polling place. And here we go. Federal law specifically bans military or other armed federal officers from being present at polling places except to repel armed armies of the United States, he said. So if there's to repeal the armed enemies of the United States. So she's saying this, right? There is an exception to this rule. So, all right. So now I've talked about this several times. What is this? Let's see. This is. Sorry, 1 second. I'm adjusting this so that you could see it better. I didn't realize it wasn't viewing properly. Sorry about that. So, anyways, but this is the statement again. And this is on Boston.com news. So so this is the event, right? That the exception to the rule in which he can put military, right? He can put the military there, and it has been done before. Now, I remember A.G. Barr on a video I was watching some months ago saying that it has been done before, and he cited some examples. I can't find that video. I searched. I keep getting this shadow ban garbage being sent at me. So anytime I'm asking for something, they're sending me everything about mail-in ballots, everything. I didn't mention mail-in ballots. All I'm mentioning is military, and I mentioned A.G. Barr. I'm trying to find this video. Can't do it. I've had several searches, again, trying to avoid this mail-in ballot dogma that they're hoisting on top of us. It's not there. Okay, so now we've been discussing this, and I laid this out as the trump card, is that bringing in the military to secure the locations, but under the guise of what? Distributing vaccines. So let's go back here. Trump mobilizing U.S. military to deliver coronavirus vaccines. This is a Reuters article. President Donald Trump mobilizing U.S. military to distribute novel coronavirus vaccine when it becomes available will be focused first on older Americans. You know, it's a massive job to give this vaccine, Trump said in interviews broadcast Thursday on Fox Business Network. Our military is now being mobilized to, so the end of the year, we're going to be able to give a lot of people very, very rapidly. So he's talking about, getting this to the people. So why does it not make sense that he would also do this at the polling place, right? Why wouldn't he send this at the polling place? Because he knows that he wants to protect the voting, right? And since we're going to be deploying this out there, so why not do it? Well, how can you mix the two, right? So what do we have here, right? We've got, number one, a vaccine that's going to be rolled out by the military rapidly, right? It's rapidly. How can you get it to the most number of people? So they got to use the military. So the military is going to be on the streets, right, in America, which is that you can't do except in time of war, which we are, where all the declared emergencies are there. The Defense Production Act, all the other, I think it's the Stanford Act, and all these other things. I think there's 3 altogether that are giving him these superpowers, right? So we're in a state of emergency. He has control also over the National Guard because of this. He has not been using them unless the governors ask for the help, or the mayors in that case. He did that once too. Mayor asked for help and the governor had to go along. Otherwise there'd be conflict in his own state. Politically not correct for the governor to go against what the mayor was asking for help. And that was previous. It was influence in this. So the former head of staff. So we've got the military going to distribute the vaccines. 100 million of them before the end of the year. They're already being produced, right? They're already on the assembly line coming out before approval is finished. So by the time the approval is done, they're all ready to go. They're ready to distribute. Now, what about getting to the polling place where you can't have the law enforcement, or we're being bombarded? We can't have law enforcement, can't have law enforcement. And remember, I did say I saw that video with Barr saying that the military has been used to safeguard the polling places in the past. All right? I wish I could find the video. If you find it, send it to me. Love to show it again. I believe I did talk about it on the broadcast months ago. Take a while to find it. So, but what else, right? How do we make this happen? So how can Trump use the military to protect against the foreign enemy that's the invading army? Well, is there an invading army? Yes, there is. Here we go. Giuliani calls on Trump to declare Black Lives Matter a domestic terror organization. Dun, dun, dun. Here's another one. Trump, $500 billion Black American plan designates KKK and Antifa as terrorist organizations. That's 3 days ago. Trump announces U.S. To designate Antifa a terrorist organization following violent protests. That's May 31st. All right, so we've got obviously now Trump declaring them as, I'm just closing these windows down, as terrorist organizations. So if they need to repel armed enemies of the United States. So can he not make a case to say Antifa is a terrorist organization? Not only is it a terrorist organization, that now they're armed with Chinese weapons, right? They're in hundreds of locations and cities around the country. that Black Lives Matter also being declared a terrorist organization. So they're enemies. So to protect the polling places, do you think if there was no protection, that Antifa wouldn't go out and try to stop Trump voters from going to the polls, be there to intimidate them? If you remember back when Obama was in office and there was elections going on, you had the Black Panthers showing up and intimidating white people, right, not to vote. Now, so this is a tactic of intimidation that the left is using. So we can be certain that it's going to happen again now. So does Trump have the ability to put the troops at the polling stations and deliver the vaccines? Trump card. Bam. I say yes. Yes, he can. So boom. Trump card. Sorry, I had that queued up. I want to make sure to get it out there. So this is obviously a time when you can look at what Trump has been laying out all these months and getting us to the point where the vaccine is just going to get approval just before the election, and rapidly the military will be out there to distribute them. Where? Across the country. And I would say at the polling places, because of the threat from Antifa and Black Lives Matter. I think that's what we're going to see happening. And what is the left going to do? They're going to complain, and they're going to say, "Oh, that's an intimidation." Well, where's your proof of the intimidation? They're going to have to show the intimidation proof, right? Not going to be there. So this is going to be, I think, the way that this Trump card rolls out. I think everything's been laid out for them to do that. So let's see if we can make this known, so people will be able to be let's say, less afraid of the virus, right? There's a lot of people out there that they're not so tuned into this message, right? They're still brainwashed. They're still listening to CNN and MSNBC and the newspapers, and they buy into this. So they rely on it, right? It's very comfortable just for them to keep going on. They don't like to be in the uncomfortable space of thinking that there's an invading army and that they're going to lose all of their rights, and they don't want to listen to that. Denial. But if we can, see these things have been seen by the people that are watching this and understanding that this is the rollout, and we've been tracking the 5x5s, right? We can see that it's going from here to there. Now, let's say I think this is a way that we can wake up more people. So, all right, share this video. It's still being successful. Subscriptions are up. I don't know what to do with myself thinking that the subscribers are coming in. It's like now 20 to 50 a day. At 100, two days ago or something jumped in. So before I know that I was locked in at 14,060. It didn't matter what happened. Even if there was a little bump that came in one video, got up to 15,000 views. And so the subscribers went up like 160, I think, something like that. And then right after that, it went right back down to 14,060. It's like, okay. Obviously, there's some mechanism there. Now that mechanism is blown away by, I guess, the continuous subscriptions. Now I don't know if they're still feeding, dropping them off as fast, but obviously we're gaining more. So please share this video. Give some likes. The likes help it as well in those algorithms. Leave positive comments, and let's keep rolling with it. Let's make it happen. All right, so let's dive in a little bit deeper here now. We have the vote unfolding, right? We're going to win. Trump will win. The people win. the deep state doesn't give up, as we discussed yesterday. They have to continue with their plan. No matter how far behind they are, they have no choice. They always follow orders, right? They can only do, they're not creative. They don't like reality weavers, creative people, creative new, changing the plan. They can't do it. Only the top lays out the plan, and it's always something they go by. And their plans are generational plans. Who are you to go against a generational plan, right? So they just keep going with it. They're going to keep going with their plan, even though it looks ridiculous, you know, and how they're proceeding. What is going to basically mobilize everyone against them? It's not this campaign. It's not Trump winning. Not all the people on the left are not going to just decide, okay, Trump won this time. Okay, he's the legitimate president this time. No. We have people that are coming over, right? Hashtag walk away. Vast numbers. Wonderful. But still, that their core group is going to continue down their line. And the media is going to blow them up to make them look like the majority, even though they're not even close to a majority. They're a super minority, in fact. But the media is part of the deep state, you know, system. So they're going to keep pushing the plan. So what will bring everyone together is the pedivores, right? The eating of the children, the consuming of our most precious resource is our children. So we're seeing more of these stories come about. So we're going to go into the 17 NES posts, and it's going to get into that, right? So we're going to look at that normalization, and then I'll bring up that list that I told you that is in the Telegram group. Please go to the Telegram group. The link is down below. It's easy to put Telegram on your desktop or your phone. I suggest you put it on your phone first. Make yourself a username. That's not the name you put there. That's a display name. There's a username as well. There's a little tip. Helps people connect with you, but you give your username out. Mine is Dan Lutz. You can use t.me/Dan Lutz, and you'll get right to me. It's like a website that will direct you to the Telegram connection. And if your Telegram is loaded, it'll take you right there. If you're in Telegram, you can just put the @ symbol Dan Lutz with a capital D and capital L. Take you there. Sorry, the group link down below for the group chat is there. Many things are posted in there every day. Excellent place to get information. Go ahead and join it. So that list is posted there in a PDF. I'm going to pull it up and we're going to look through it. It also came in German, right? As a front letter with it that's in German. I had it translated. At least I believe it's German. When I read through it, I said, oh, that's German. Went to Google Translate. We'll go through the translated page as well. All right. So let's go first over to our 17 NES. Drop down to get there first. Where we left off. Okay, here we go. All right. So we dropped off here where we had, remember this video with the gunship or the laser guided missiles, right? So you use this laser to target. Ah. Gotta reload it. Had it sitting there too long. And this is why we're talking about targeting specifically. And I guess this also applies to the people that we're discussing, right? Because this is what we're going to be bringing into it. This is what brings the world together. Okay, it's not loading. I'll just go on. Back over to here. So anyway, we saw that yesterday. So here's a 4777 post. Now this is a Congress.com or .gov, sorry, and then it's talking about Peter Comey, brother of James Comey, the Clinton Foundation, I think it's a DIA Piper. It's an organization. Conflict of interest. Follow the families. Think McCabe's wife. Focus here. East Africa operations. And so the Clinton Foundation link here. The money never flows directly. So what they're talking about here is how is money being used to pay off these people, right, for getting things done. Right, we're not going to dive into that one. We're going to go into this one over here. 4778. This is a montage of how they're normalizing pedophilia. We'll look into that. Shaping the narrative takes work. Trial date July 12th, 2021. That's a long time from now, right? Unusual to have 1 year gap from the arrest to trial. I would say so. What might be the purpose? Well, let's take a look at this. I'm gonna blow this up so it's easier to read. Okay, so these are all clippings, right, from different news sources. Born this way, sympathy and science for those who want to have sex with children. Pedophilia, a disorder, not a crime. I'm a pedophile, but not a monster. 5 ways to misunderstand pedophilia that makes it worse. Not all pedophiles are bad people. We need to have a sense of proportion. CBC doc reveals the struggle of the world's most loathed population, pedophile. Pedophilia is fate, not a choice. Leading science claims. Okay, what else is going on? So this is pedophilia. Is pedophilia sexual orientation? This is how you teach kids about consent. Kids cannot give consent. No, you can teach them all you want. Kids' brains are not able to understand what the implications are. Their brains are not fully developed. In fact, science has proven your brain isn't fully developed until the age of 24. I'm for raising the voting age to 24 when the brain is fully matured. Okay, can a child legally consent to sex? No. A pedophilia opens up about being targeted by vigilantes. Pedophilia is a sexual orientation like being straight or gay. Video shows toddlers understanding consent. So toddlers understand consent. Are you kidding me? These people are totally sick. You remember Netscape got that's a long name from the past. Netflix got busted for putting out this Cuties series about young girls that are twerking and doing sexually explicit type of content, and just again normalizing pedophilia. People don't buy this, but they think no matter what they put into the narrative, they can get people to go along with it because it's worked all of this time, right? It's been working. This system, this way of programming people. Will they be able to program people to go along with these? And people say, well, I'm open-minded, right? Liberal. I'm open-minded. I will hear what they have to say, right? And they will take this and say, well, okay, let me hold judgment off, right? I don't want to say anything, right? They're programmed to allow this to unfold. And then more and more, they'll see more and more of it. And people say, well, people are going along with this. Well, I better go along to get along, right? They'll say this in their heads, right? And they'll start going by the programming. Many people don't have kids. They won't have any concept of what that is. And other people that don't like kids, right? And so there'll be all sorts of big group that's kind of forming as a general acceptance of, well, it exists, just like what? LGBTQ plus, right? And they'll just keep adding the pluses to every single sort of distortion, right? That they want to make normal. This is not normal. It's not normal, right? And it's not. And these things, or down below, what did it say here? Let me bring that up again. What they say? Oh, pedophilia is fate, not. Sorry, this is in the way. It's fate, not a choice. So it blew up. Let me lower that down a little bit. Okay, pedophilia is fate, not a choice. Leading scientists claim. So that's leading scientists, right? Leading scientists, they must know, right? This is a lot of study. Well, there are a lot of studies out there that show that even homosexuality is a learned behavior. Now, that goes against the political correctness, right? Well, what about all the science that says that is true? So, are there people that are born that way? 100% that there are some that are born with a conflict of biology, born with 2 sets of genitalia. That's an extreme case I'm bringing up. I say, yes, those and some degrees beyond that. But mostly, it's a learned behavior. It's a part of the survival instinct, right? This element of our survival instinct allows for this adaptation, right? So that it allows people to survive. But that's been distorted. It is mostly a learned behavior. Again, not politically correct to say so. But the evidence is there that supports that. But if you don't want to look at that evidence because it makes people feel uncomfortable, right? Which is about, oh, well, you can't go against what anyone else says, against their morality. See, when you have all this diverse, multi-morality system there. So what's the morality of a pedophile? What is the morality of a pedivore eating of children? Whole group of them, right? They have their own ethics, their own morality. Are all of those valid? No, they're not. They go against the other people who have children, who are basically bringing this to their that want their children to be safe and grow up without being harmed, and that this is harm. You know, we've had a lot of programs here where we discussed what happened to a very small 2-year-old and what happened while he was being used and abused and had to go to the emergency room to have his rectum reinstalled. Was it 9 times before he ended up dying? That is not normal. It can't be normalized. So, but this is what will bring everybody together, because we know that. Yes, there is this small group, this faction that basically believes in this death culture, right? And they have everything reversed. And it's sad for them because they were doing this to please their God, which was just making fun of them by making them do horrible things to their fellow humans. They're being laughed at by their gods. Yeah. Their gods are, whether you don't need to believe that they're God, right? Whatever they say their God is laughing at them. Because they got them to go against their own kind. See, they think that they'll be accepted by their God by doing all of these horrible things to their own kind. And in reality, they're just being laughed at, made to do the horrible, evil bidding of their gods, right? Now you can just say their gods are just the top of the pyramid. The small group at the top, the bloodline families. They all have this insanity, of how they live and create, thinking everything they're doing is good, right? It's the reversal. Again, look at my video on worldwide civil war, us versus them. It describes how they're brought into this, how people that are what normal good people start taking the path to the dark side, and soon they look like Darth Vader wearing masks and breathing through breathing apparatus and completely desensitized from anybody else's touch. They're trying to basically create this worldwide, keep everyone separate, because when we get together, when we have love and caring for another, we have power. And they're trying to defeat that power. Okay. All right, let's go back to this. Scale this back down. All right. So this is, again, shaping the narrative takes work. So that's what they're doing. They're shaping the narrative. That trial date. Let's look at this Reddit article. It's on Giselle Maxwell. Someone mysteriously sent almost $1 billion in Bitcoin. I wonder what this is. So, Trump's Justice Department is making life on hell for illegal weed. Well, I don't know which article they're trying to focus on. It might have been taken down. That's probably what happened. Probably was taken down. So let's go back. Let's move on here. 4779. So we have referring to an older post from May 5th of 2020. And it's talking about then and now, Brennan and Comey assessment, Clapper assist, hard push. So they're just talking about some articles. So here's a new tweet. So let's look what they're talking about there. If it's still up. Again, a lot of the stuff that appears ends up being taken down as part of this shadow banning. They just remove and censor. So we can see, I'm looking at the stuff that's coming on my YouTube feed. I said it's so bland now, repeating of all these other stories and so on. Okay, so John Solomon, breaking. Next declassification could flip Russia conclusion script point of effort to hurt Trump. So they're basically talking about reversing this. So that because they want to hurt Trump, but this Russian collusion, as we talked about yesterday with Hunter Biden, is really showing that the Bidens were colluding with the Russians, right? You can say Joe Biden was colluding with the Russians and with the Ukrainians for that matter. Okay, let's go on. So now we're looking at 4780. Anonymous is posting. Let's see. Condemning 17 NES and rejecting the conspiracy theorists, and it promotes looking at this. So basically, he's pointing out that there's panic in DC in theaters now. So basically, they're freaking out. So that's why they're panicking. So 4781. It's got a link here for law.com. Go take a look. Okay, Emhoff, Kamala Harris' spouse, taking leave from DLA. Okay, so DLA Piper spokesman confirmed that Kamala's husband is taking a leave of absence, right? So he's stepping down from here, taking a temporary leave from the law firm. So as the campaign goes into, so basically any kind of you know, they're trying to mitigate any damages coming from his connection to that. All right, next, 4782. Simple process. Family of supporter hired at Clinton Foundation engaged law firms. Okay, simple process. So a family, some of a supporter, they're hired at the Clinton Foundation. All right. Clinton Foundation donates funds, primary influx foreigner, under legal payments to engage law firm, DLA Piper. So they're going to hire a law firm, right? So they're sending the payments. So DLA Piper payment, salary, bonus, and others to family members of supporter. So okay, so family members joins Clinton Foundation, right? Clinton Foundation donates funds, donated funds. So basically, their donated funds. This comes from the foreigners, right? Influx from foreigners under legal payments to engage law firm. So basically DLA Piper is being hired by the Clinton Foundation. Clinton Foundation is going to send money to DLA Piper. So this payments is for salary, bonuses, and other go to family member supporter. Family member transfers to supporter campaign funding donation gifts. So it's back to the Clinton Foundations. Follow the expenses, follow the salaries and benefits, follow professional and consulting, follow cost and sales, follow other. Funds, expenses versus payouts for causes. Analyze percentage, how much of the actual donated money actually goes to help the selected causes. Less than 10%. A TTM 5-year historical. So there's a history there. So gifts and grants. So this is to the Clinton Foundation, or I think so. So 2014 is 172 million. Then it was a little less in 2015, 108 million. Then less in 2016, 62 million. Loss of power, POTUS wins start of pay-to-play collapse. In 2017, it drops down to 76 million. In 2018, it's down to 24 million. Total revenue in 2018 is 30 million to total expenses of 47 million. So they're in the red in that year. Clinton Foundation at the center. All right, next we've got a Breitbart article at 4783, worth remembering. So we want to remember. FBI Director James Comey and Clinton Foundation connection. All right. So review the FBI Director James Comey professional history and relationships show that Obama cabinet leader, now under fire for his handling of the investigation of Hillary Clinton, is deeply entrenched in the big money cronyism culture of Washington, D.C. His personal and professional relationships all undisclosed as he announced the Bureau would not prosecute Clinton, reinforced by partisan concerns that he may have politicized the criminal probe. All right. Back. And the last post here. No, there's a couple more. I thought this was the last one. 4784. So they're circling Lisa Barcelona. This is Rob Rosenstein's wife. Okay. So Lisa Barcelona, former Bill Clinton attorney. Hamburg versus Clinton, 1998, plus an appeal in 1999, scrubbed from the net. Oh, you can't find it now, right? Wife of Rob Rosenstein. So they're all connected, right? They're all in it together. 4785, justice.gov link. So Rod Rosenstein's tax division, DOJ 2001 to 2005. Clinton Foundation investigation 2001 to 2005. Any connection there? Interesting that that's where he ended up working for those years, right? Impaneled, GJ, impaneled. What is GJ? Not sure about that. Clinton Foundation failure to declare foreign donations, 2001 to 2003. Again in the same time period. James Comey takeover investigation, 2002. Director of FBI, 2002, Robert Mueller. Okay, so again, it's all the same crew. FBI Vault, William Jefferson Clinton Foundation. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. So I guess they're talking about they were feeding James Comey, right? All right, and last is a video here. This is 4786. This video is this one. This video will get Donald Trump elected. Now we've seen this many before. I'll just play a little bit of it.
With a new government controlled by you, the American people. The Washington establishment and the financial and media corporations that fund it exist for only one reason: to protect and enrich itself.
Okay, so we've seen that many times before. So that's 4 million views on that one. Okay, so we can see that we've got the pedivore topic interwoven into what's going on daily. The reason for that, right, is very obvious. We can tell that that's part of the narrative that they're going to carry along with this, because people are not going to care about the treason, because they've been trained to think about it just as, well, it's just a political issue, right? It's not against the country or the people, it's against the politics, right? And so people don't care. They don't know what what treason is all about, and the insurrection and the rest of it. They would only see it after it was completed, and they say, oh, wow, we didn't see that coming. And so I wish we would have done something. But that's not going to be the case this time around. All right, so let me go ahead and look and see if we have any questions in the chat group here. 1 second. There. All right. Hello, Christy. Shift and Nomi. So what do we have here? Charlie Ward says quantum voting, U.S. Post Office patent last year. Yeah. So that is something I think is going to happen. Actually, I looked a little bit more into that technology. It's using the Ethereum blockchain to do it. And that's fine. You know, it's just about a smart contract. So to kind of explain, so blockchain is a database. It's a structure, and the way they do it is you've got a block of data, and you have it chained to the next block of data, which chained to the next block of data, chained to the next block of data. So how do you find that data? Well, it's got an address. That address is the transaction ID. So whenever you have a wallet, and you could call it something other than a wallet if you wanted, you know, a device that creates a code, an address of where you have data, right? And you're going to be now changing the data from pointing from this point to this point. So it's just a pointing system, right, of data. So if you wanted to commit votes, you could put a vote there, right? So that's a vote. It's a vote. It's a vote. I'm using my device, which I could call a wallet or any other kind of name I want, a refrigerator. It's my refrigerator. It's my vote reservoir. Whatever you want to call it, right? There is no real, the term wallet is just for our understanding, so we get a clear picture of something. It's just to kind of give us a programming. You know, something easy to comprehend. Wallet, transfer money. That's all it's for. Take money out of your pocket, put it in this pocket. So the voting system that they've patented would be where they create a smart contract, which means if A plus B equals C and C plus D equals E, then do this, right? And so if vote is entered properly, add it to here. It's a decision tree, right? It's like, so a smart contract just says, okay, if these events happen, do these things. So it's just a way of controlling where the data fits on the blockchain. That's all we're talking about here. And there's nothing quantum about it. First of all, nothing quantum, nothing quantum. You can call anything quantum. This is my quantum hairstyle. I hope you like my quantum hairstyle. A lot of people said, oh, wow, I got to get used to that. There was no choice in my quantum hairstyle other than not having a hairstyle. So, but these people like to put the word quantum everywhere. So there will be a way of keeping track of voting. It's interesting that it'll be connected to the post office. That's fine. Will it be connected to mail-in voting system? Possibly. But I think we're going to see that this election is a lot more secure than people are thinking with all this mail-in ballot stuff. I think this mail-in ballot stuff is going to go by the wayside. I don't think it's going to be included. I think it's going to be defeated roundly. So doesn't mean their plan is off. They're still going to move forward. They have to. They have no choice. That's their programming. They'll keep trying to shape the narrative along the way to say it's not fair. Trump is stealing the election and all this. Not going to happen. Okay. Well, we're just over an hour, so I guess it's a good place to break. I would like to thank everyone for jumping in here and on a daily basis. We've got a lot of people, so we're getting 1,000 people a day that are watching the videos. That's excellent. So please share this video. This is the small step that you can do. You take the next step of joining Life Force. Do what you can. Join the assemblies. Right, that's the next step. Get active and participate in the assemblies. Remember, we had a severe warning that came from Life Force. Kim spoke and talked about a severe danger to the food supply. And Life Force has taken action to have people volunteer to come up with a food distribution system that bypasses the existing one that's controlled by the deep state. So get involved. If you have freezer space, right, you can put things in there for the group, right? Get your name on the list. You can, grow something in your backyard. Put your name on the list. A lot of times when you grow for yourself, I'm from a small. When I was a small kid, I was growing. I was at little gardens and everything. Most of the time, you have more than you can use because when you harvest, right, you've got what you can eat today and tomorrow and the next day. But what do you do after that? Well, you either have to store it, so you have to do canning. So if you know how to do canning, right, which is a talent, you have because you're doing something to keep the food good for months, right, in little jars with little sealing rings on it, and you got to boil the jars and take everything out without any germs going into the mixture, and you seal it away. So if you can do canning, put your name on the list, get involved. Right. So this is important for us to know that there is some action that is planned against us, and this is as described, is a 9/11 global event, meaning a terrorist hit that be global and will affect millions of people. In fact, meant to kill millions of people. So get involved. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, listen to yesterday's show. We'll get up to that. All right. Also, if you'd like to send a donation, again, my link is down below. Also, Life Force link is down below. Please, if you care to donate, any amount is helpful. Believe it or not, even $10, it's fine. $20, fine. Any amount. Again, 100 Canadian dollars came in yesterday. It's okay. PayPal will convert it. So don't worry about that. Do what you can and just get involved. Thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow.